Yeah, if he can get a sub 9 with that strat, like if it requires him to use it, then it is absolutely worth it. Because getting sub 9 saves you at least a minute, depending on how far down you are inside of it. So anything that you can do to get under 9 is definitely worthwhile. But once you start getting under 8, you have to start considering the effect it will have on the rest of the run, because you're not getting anything out of it. So my analysis of it, it's an interesting take. I would need to see the full effect of it on the run before I really pass judgment on it, but it seems promising as a strat for PSX and PSN players. Again, as long as there's no extra level ups inside the run, or bad places to level up. Like, that's my biggest concern, is after the clock rush what happens. So I had to go kind of slow there because I had already killed 3 zombies. I mean, if I wasn't doing so good right now, I might be tempted to investigate it right now. But so far my attempts have gone pretty well. And it's important to kind of keep doing attempts while it seems like you're kind of in a groove. That being said, I only have about another hour or 2 that I can stream before I have to get rest. Got work tomorrow. Oh yeah, and then the other thing that I wanted to mention about the strat was it's contingent on you being able to do things like the Fleaman cooperating and stuff, but you could kind of maximize your chances on that with a little bit of work. Whew. It's close. If you soul steal, then that wastes time. Because there's an animation to soul steal. And if you're going to soul steal for both rooms, then you're definitely losing more time. So you're only going to gain like 1.5 seconds, maybe. Maybe 2. No, you cannot. Dive kick. You can do like a flying kick with fist weapons, but not a dive kick. Dive kick you need to have either leapstone or a transformation, or a thrusting weapon like say Claymore or Flamberg. Maybe you can do it with Shield Rod also? I'm not 100% sure on that though, so don't quote me on that one. I only take it as not a joke because I thought about that slightly as he was going through the room. So I didn't know if you guys were actually considering that a strat or not. Really bad jumps on these snake women this attempt. Fuck. Ooh, Takamitsu. Might have lost a little time there, but I thought I had enough to transform there. Yeah, death has been patched out of the game. Soten is obviously before Dracula hired maids, the Persephones. I know this because it's dusty everywhere when you backdash. Ooh, I might have been able to do it without a mist, but I wasn't going to take the chance.
Your word.
I'm interested in this.
The jumping is inconsistent only because we're doing it so fast, because it saves so little time.
I'm interested in this.
Thank you. Farewell for...
If you sat there and tried to get it, you would lose more time than it saves. So it's worth going for it once, since it's free. But not... Okay, thank you, Disqual, for that strat. I don't know why it didn't get me up the first time, but that's okay. So this is probably going to be a +1 split, I want to say. And I'm sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying. Okay, Mana Prism is in a bad place because of my pickup, so I need to go right and then up. Lost a little bit of time there. Maybe 1 second. I did something more similar to my old strat rather than my new strat. So I had to do a jump, and I was falling for longer. Fuck. A lot of really foolish jumping mistakes this stream. Whoa, that was close. I wasn't sure that I made that. I thought I was gonna bonk. Dude, these chokes are criminal. Fuck. Thought I had it. That will do it. Not looking at the time, not looking at the time. Kinda scared. Okay, this was a gold split, so let's see just how gold it was.
Dog party!
Yes! I'm done. I'm done. On to new things.
That I've been so defeated.
You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love.
Sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul? Matthew 16:26, I believe. Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
And that was even with a miss on Relic, which is about 6 seconds for a heart refresh.
No harm, for theirs is
So 1750 is possible for me, but I'm not going to push that.
that she would love you.
Like, I'm going to still do any percent runs here and there, but I'm pretty happy with this time now.
Son,
Pretty happy with this time. Lancelot, the strat in the pendulum room before Karasamon, it's good, but it's very, very, very hard. And I just haven't put the time in to be able to do it, so it's just not worth it for me. If you did do it correctly, though, or something even close to correctly, it would save either 1 or 3 seconds. So it really just depends on how you feel like it.
But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to
Ugh.
good men to do nothing. I understand.
Alucard?
Yo, that ban for excessive Fs.
The blood flows in my veins.
No, Nightbot's doing his job, Seth. People need to stop spamming letters.
Will not meet it.
Alucard?
Don't you want to go after him, Maria?
No, it's best this way. I can't ease his torment. Someday, perhaps, we will meet again. And on that day, maybe.
Easily get 1750? I don't know about that, but 1750 is definitely possible with the strats that I'm using. This is probably a 1756, because I'm at 0.03. And obviously it didn't take me 0.3 seconds to get to my split, so I'll have to see when I gain control of Richter and everything, but this is probably a 1756, in the high 1756. Cutting off the failed heart refresh and the repositioning afterward, that would be about 7 seconds. What else did I fail on? I got a slightly slower strat in the library that's lost me about a second, so that's 8 seconds. I don't think I got the best clock rush I could have had. I probably maybe could have saved 1 second more on that. So that's 9 now. What else did I miss? I think I Invince Potioned the book. So that probably cost me a second there as well, which is 10. What else? What else? I missed the jump in the clock tower, which is another second, so that's 11. Second castle? I don't think I missed anything on the first strat in the reverse chapel. I don't think I missed anything in... Did I miss anything in chapel? I don't think so. I lost about half a second in the chapel because I didn't get on the door platform in the sword room, but that's not consistent. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. So I can't really count on that. Missed the bat dash coming out of the room with the Azaghal, so that's another half a second, I want to say. It might be a full second. Yeah, I would estimate there's somewhere between like 12 and 14 seconds still to save on this time, but I'm pretty happy with this. I can finally play other video games. Yeah, Ben will easily beat this time when he actually puts in solid attempts, though. I'm pretty much going to be forever 4th or 5th, unless somebody else kind of comes up. Control-Alt-WTF was actually doing really well when he was doing attempts, but it seems like he stopped. Ben is... I'm pretty sure Ben's a better player than I am. I'm like 80% sure. It's just if he applies himself. Dragon Blitz puts way more time, or puts way more time in on the small things in this game, so he's better than I am. So it's like Rom, Dragon, and Ben are pretty much going to be the ones that are competing. Epic could compete at that level, but I don't think his heart is necessarily in any percent. So, I mean, again, unless somebody kind of comes out of nowhere, it's going to be Rom, Ben, and Dragon. Like Ramen first, and then Ben and Dragon, kind of whoever puts in time. And then me and Epic. We'll see, though. Like, Mitako, or Metakeo, I don't know how he says his name. I should ask him at some point. He's currently got the best time in Europe, and he's actually showing a lot of promise as well. He could definitely compete at a high level in this game as well. I don't know how much he wants to push it, though. He plays a lot of FF7 as well, so that's on him. Yeah, I saw the post Charleon. That was a really, really solid run. Thank yous. Thank you to ROM Scout for basically introducing me to this game as far as like speedrunning it, sharing tech when he can. Forgone Moose and like all the Tassers for their work on it. That is actually applicable to RTA. Disqual for the potion strat to kick off of the book when I screwed up. Ben for his various contributions and small things, and the anonymous viewer for the new reverse chapel strat. Due to every one of those guys, I'm able to get this sub 18 working and going. Lots of other people, but I figured I'd just point out those people immediately. But let's go ahead and kill this video. Please save correctly. Saverino. Okay, good. Alright. I'm going to... I don't need to cut stream. I was going to cut stream slightly just for the cutoff, but I think I'm okay with this. Let's go ahead and... save splits, reset. Yes, I want to update them. Save splits again. Okay, so 1757, our sum of best is a 1745. Our sum of best actually could probably go down another 2 or 3 seconds. It's just I haven't gotten a full good execution on the section after Bat and in the second castle. If I could do both of those sections with every strat that I'm aware of, then I could get some golds there, and it'd probably go down 2 or 3 seconds. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go over this video real quick, actually. So let's go into edit. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, this is a 38-minute video, so that means it probably starts like... Well, let's see. I mean, I guess the easiest thing would be to do this. Okay, 30:58. 18 minutes back would be 12:58. So somewhere around there. Okay. $12:57. Alright. So let's kind of dissect this, shall we? Not that much. I mean, I had so many near misses this entire time that I kind of... Eventually you just get numb to it, especially if it's in the same series of attempts. You just get numb to how close it is. I was still really nervous and kind of scared near the end of it, but it was alright. I was more worried that I was going to get screwed out of that relic skip when I hit it, or that I was going to somehow drop a wing smash inside the ceiling, because that's been an issue of late. It's not that I can't do relic skip consistently either, it's just I'm trying to go as fast as I can to do it, so I'm skipping over making absolutely sure I'm on the right pixels, for example. I'm just ballparking it and going for it. And that's kind of what you need to do. Okay, so all of this really doesn't matter. Because I'm trying to analyze what I'm, like how far behind I am from a potential run. So we're going to skip ahead to around where the clock rush ends. Because I am curious how much time I could potentially save. I knew that was going to screw me, by the way, that backdash, and I think it did. I think that was the thing that made it so I couldn't get perfect positioning. That missed, you know, 3/4 of a second or whatever. That Takamutsu drop was kind of a jerk also, because that screwed up my menuing inside of the library. Yeah, 1, 2. So I can gain maybe 1 or 2 seconds on the clock rush. I could technically gain 1 second in that skeleton boomerang room if I skip them, but that's a second that I just don't care about. Actually, I take it back. It's not 1 second, it's more like half a second, because I do jumping attacks now rather than standing. So I really wouldn't be saving that much time. So we're at about 2.5 seconds right now. Let's see what else. Menuing was fine here. Again, there's another potential second to save there if I can get a fairy card skip that doesn't use a second mist, but that's really inconsistent as well, so I wouldn't count that. Like, there's a lot of little time saves that you can do in this game, but it's just... like, the probability of getting them is... or forcing them is fairly low. Like, you can do a text skip that I was doing all night tonight. It was kind of screwing up my menuing. That allows you to not enter the pause menu and still skip the librarian's text. It saves maybe like half a second, maybe a full second, especially if you're on PSX. This menuing was decent. I screwed up a tiny bit at the end there. Instead of just pressing start, I pressed back once in the menu, but that really didn't cost me much time. That was about a second lost. I screwed up and didn't do a run immediately. So we lost about 2 seconds there, so we're at about 4.5 seconds. Slight time loss there with a bad jump, but that's okay. Again, like, some of these are so minor. See, getting the Takamitsu normally would fix my inventory so that I could immediately pick up my library card after... or not immediately pick up my library card, immediately pick up my mana prism right here, rather than having to move my inventory, because it would drop in the same spot. So because of that, I lost about half a second. Maybe a full second, considering 2 menus. Well, about half a second. So I lose a second there. So 1.5 seconds total, so we're at about 6 seconds in the first castle now. This is fine. Tiny bit slow on the wing smashes on the outer wall, but that's okay. Nothing too bad. A little too high there, makes me lose about half a second, but again, that's hard to really force. This is a mistake, though. So that was about 1.5 seconds. So we're at, I think I said 7, so 8.5. This is actually fine, but I could do a slightly faster strat here if I managed to chain wing smashes there with getting through the invisible wall.